Hi, my name is Bailey Watkins, and I'm going to be a registered nurse and a lactation consultant. I live in New Braunfels, Texas as a stay-at-home mom, and I go to school at Baptist School of Health Professions in San Antonio, where I'm pursuing my associate's degree in nursing. My day consists of bringing my daughter to school, most importantly coffee, and then a balance between Netflix and studying, as well as donating plasma twice a week for those in need. I chose a career in healthcare because I care deeply about people and I'd love to spend my days doing just that. Cliche, I know. To dig deeper into that, my daughter in February 2019 was rushed from the ER to the Children's Hospital in San Antonio. She had the flu and she was in respiratory failure due to necrotizing pneumonia. She was admitted to the PICU, and after a sleepless night for this mama, I was informed in the morning that she was going to have surgery. She came back from surgery intubated and sedated, where she remained for several days. We remained in the hospital for 5 weeks, which was the longest 5 weeks of my life. I compare it to the whole year of 2020, just for some perspective. So while my child was fighting for her life, I remained committed to completing microbiology and anatomy and physiology as my prereqs for nursing school. Although I had already chosen a career in healthcare, this experience clarified that decision for me. The level of care my child received was remarkable. Especially now that I've had my own clinical experiences, I see how exceptionally well cared for she was. I had no idea what the signs of respiratory distress were. All the signs my child exhibited, including nostril flaring and use of accessory muscles to breathe and respiratory rate, are so vitally important, and people just don't know. If I would have known that the proper respiratory rate for her age at the time was 22 to 34, I could have helped prevent these complications and helped her get the help that she so desperately needed before she had to fight for her life. While she was still at home, she slept for 5 days, and if I wouldn't have noticed her abnormal breathing, which I soon found out was the use of accessory muscles, she would have died in her sleep, which is every parent's worst nightmare. So I feel the importance in spreading the simple assessments and manifestations of respiratory distress, hoping that it will save lives in the future. I plan to use social media as a platform to spread this knowledge for now. In 5 years, I plan on having my bachelor's degree and my lactation consultant license and sharing this information with new mamas. In 10 years, I plan to have implemented a parent fact sheet and signs posted in all pediatrician offices so that every parent can understand these signs and symptoms. In 15 years, I plan to be a trusted nurse practitioner who never looks past a parent's concerns. I'd like to give every patient and the general public this information firsthand. My motivation is, of course, my daughter, who extends the utmost grace to me during my downfalls. She has taught me to offer myself the same grace. My inspiration are the amazing nurses who nurse my daughter back to health, specifically 2 of them who I will always love and cherish. These women empowered me, supported me, and encouraged me every single day during our extended stay. And this support and that level of care shows me how important, a nurse can be during possibly one of the most difficult times in that family's life, not just for the patient, but for the family members as well. As I mentioned before, coffee is very important. I like mine in the form of a salted caramel latte, and it has to be iced unless it's really cold outside, which is uncommon here in Texas. My go-to pump-up song is Where Is the Love by the Black Eyed Peas. I feel like the world could always use more love in most aspects of life. Something you may be surprised to know about me is that I've been at the bottom. I've lived off welfare, which there's no shame in that, and I've made plenty of poor choices. A piece of invaluable advice that helped pull me from these dark times is that you are not defined by your poor choices or your past. Once I had the vast epiphany that it was my responsibility to change my life and no one was going to do that for me, I put plans into action and changed my life. Now here I am, halfway to being a nurse, achieving my hopes and dreams. You are capable, you are powerful, and you can do it. Thanks.